glad you're here. This is my channel, Growing Joy. I'm going to be growing a garden this summer, and I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. I have never had a YouTube channel before where I actually posted things, but this is gonna be fun, I think. I've got a couple notes here, so don't mind if I just peek down at those. Growing Joy. I came up with that name because I find a lot of joy in gardening. I've always loved watching the seeds come up. I put the little dead-looking piece of material in the dirt and water it and take care of it, and pretty soon it's life. I've always loved that about gardening, and I find a lot of joy in cultivating life. So Growing Joy is kind of a play on words, I guess. I have increasing joy from gardening, and I am also cultivating joy by gardening. And I think a lot of people can benefit from that. So that's one reason I'm sharing it on a YouTube channel, is because I think that gardening is becoming something of a lost art. A lot of people in my age group, in our society, don't appreciate where our food comes from very much. And even if they do appreciate it, they don't fully realize what a benefit that can be to the person who's growing the food. I've always enjoyed that ever since I can remember, being 4, maybe even younger. My dad would have a little garden alongside the house, and he always gave me a little corner of the garden where I could plant my carrot seeds. And that was just one of the best parts of spring. That and hiding out under the tomato plants and building forts there. It's just always been a source of joy for me. And I just really want to share that, because our society is so fast-paced, fast-moving. You grab what you need, you go. There's no sit and enjoy the moment. No peace in just enjoying the sunlight. Just feeling the breeze. No pausing to think. And for me, gardening is very grounding in that sense, that, no pun intended. I come from the hustle and bustle of a day at work. I work 10-hour days, 4 days a week, so that's pretty intense. By the time I get home, I'm pretty beat. And I really don't want to be around a schedule anymore for quite a while. So for me, gardening is a really nice solution to that. I head out, just do whatever I want on my little plot of land there, whether it be planting or weeding or just sitting there, which is one of the best parts. And I just want to share that for people, because I feel like it can be very therapeutic. So yeah, this is my outlet where I'm going to try to share that joy. And I hope that you appreciate it and you can learn with me. This is the first year I will be doing really solely my own garden in the family plot. Most years one of my parents takes the lead with that, and maybe I have bursts of excitement about the garden, and then there's some weeks where I'm just like overwhelmed with life, and you know how it is. But this year I'm going to really take control of the whole garden, and my whole family was like, absolutely, take the garden, we're fine with that. So I will be pretty much doing this myself, and it'll be quite an adventure. I'm gonna try really hard to film along the way so you're part of the adventure and see all my successes and failures, because failure is the best teacher, honestly. So, like I said, I'm new to this, so I might not be able to get everything. I'm still learning about the filming and editing process, but I think it should work really well. So, a couple of the reasons that I think gardening is a really good idea. I kind of went over the emotional already, but as far as practical cost, I'm going to be trying to keep really close track of the expenses that I have with my gardening experience this year, and I'll try to keep you up to date on that so you can kind of compare and contrast with me. I like to go to the farmer's market during the summer. I like to eat a lot of natural food as much as possible. I tend to steer toward organics just to avoid any unnecessary chemicals or processes. So that can kind of add up. That can be pretty expensive. And with my own garden, I can really control that and know exactly what's going into my food, make sure that I'm not putting any chemicals into the garden, etc. And I believe that it can be much more economical. But like I said, I'm kind of doing this for the first time, so you'll find out with me. But I believe that's a really good benefit of gardening, is cost effective. Nutrition, kind of along with that, it is more nutritious to eat fresh vegetables and fruits and things that haven't been treated with chemicals, etc. I've already said that. Convenience. There may be a lot of work that goes into a garden, but there is nothing like making a salad and saying, you know, this would be really good with onions. Let me go grab one from the garden. That's the best feeling ever, especially when you grew that onion or tomato or pepper or whatever it is you're getting. I have for many years wanted to have an herb garden, like a kitchen garden. I've tried a couple times. Herbs are a little bit finicky, so sometimes it's a little touch and go, but I'm going to be trying that this year as well, and I'm hoping it works better. Herbs are huge when you're cooking, herbs and spices, so if you have them right here and they're fresh, it's awesome, super convenient. Well, enjoyment. I love gardening. That's another benefit. And like I said, kind of therapeutic, stress relieving, just calming to be by yourself. It's silent. It's just outdoor noises, nature. It's very, very calming. So those are the biggest reasons that I garden, and I think they're pretty big ones. I think it's quite worth the effort, in my opinion. With this channel, my goals are to bring you along on the journey with me, to help anyone who hasn't been exposed to a lot of gardening. There may be some informational videos. I may go through some processes that work really well, and then you can learn along with me. So education as well as entertainment. I enjoy watching other people try new things, so I'm assuming that some other people may enjoy that as well. As far as the videos that I'll be posting, I have a lot of ideas for various topics. I really, really like nature, so I think I have quite a bit of experience to share. Not necessarily only in gardening, but I'm also thinking of throwing in some foraging videos, which is, in my opinion, even better than gardening because you didn't put the effort into growing that produce. It's just out there for us to gather, and it's free, chemical free. It's a good deal. I really like foraging as well. I've always done that with my dad. Another thing, I've been doing it since I was 3 probably. I live in Western New York, so during the winter there's not that much you can do, but during the summer, spring, summer, fall, there are a lot of things that are available for the picking, really. And I find that very interesting. It's like a treasure hunt. So I'm planning to post probably regular videos on foraging, maybe each video focusing on 1 or 2 things that you can find outside at that time of year and what you can do with them. Maybe recipes, if they're good for medicinal purposes, what you could use them for with that. Obviously, progress on my garden, how to, how not to, some informational videos about each kind of plant that I grow, what you can do with it. Again, recipes, do's and don'ts. I'm sure I'll find out a lot more of those as I go along. Hopefully more do's than don'ts. We'll see. I am thinking of doing even some specific recipe videos. Or I also have a blog that I've started, and I'm planning to do a lot more posting of recipes on there because it's not really a cook show channel and you don't necessarily need a video for a recipe, more just the recipe itself. But those are my ideas. I will put a link for my blog in the description below. So far I haven't posted anything, but just so you can keep an eye on it and subscribe, and I will be getting things to you in the near future as I discover them. So yes, that is everything. Thank you very much for watching, and let's do this adventure.